Markle just crashed the internet. Not in a good way. The Duchess of Drama dropped a pregnancy video so cringeworthy it could qualify as performance art. Think maternity ward meets interpretive dance meets your worst nightmare. But here's the plot twist that's got Hollywood shook. South Park caught wind of this mess and decided to serve it back with a side of animated savagery that's left Meghan's PR team scrambling for damage control. Let's rewind to the chaos that started it all. Meghan allegedly filmed herself twerking in a labor and delivery room. Yes, you read that right. While pregnant with daughter Lilibet. The video, which surfaced to celebrate Lilibet's 4th birthday, features our former royal grinding away in hospital scrubs like she's auditioning for a reality show nobody asked for. Harry lurks in the background looking like a deer caught in designer headlights, popping in and out of frame like he's not sure if he should be there or call security. The internet's reaction? Pure digital carnage. Comments flooded in faster than you could say royal protocol violation. One user quipped, "Why does this feel like a trailer for a movie no one asked for?" Others compared it to a parody sketch gone rogue, and thus the hashtag # Duchess Delusion was born. The visual was so jarring that viewers weren't moved. They were mildly attacked by the awkwardness. Instead of the elegant applause Meghan likely envisioned, the clip sparked brutal backlash complete with memes, reaction videos, and commentary dissecting everything from her mystical hand placements to whether that baby bump looked suspiciously rubbery. It was the internet at its most unfiltered, and Meghan at her most unintentionally hilarious. Behind the scenes, things got messier than a Kardashian family reunion. According to whispers from Hollywood's Gilded Grapevine, even Meghan's professional allies were blinking in disbelief. One anonymous insider allegedly snorted, "We were told this was going to be a heartfelt announcement, not a Lifetime movie teaser starring herself." Real Hollywood heavyweights started backing away slowly, like they'd just witnessed a royal seance. Studios that had once flirted with working with Meghan, indie darling at 24, and even the ever-diplomatic Paramount, began pulling their champagne flutes off her table. When Paramount distances itself from anyone, you know it's bad. That's the studio that gave us Sonic the Hedgehog, for heaven's sake. The fallout wasn't just digital, it was professional. Meghan's carefully constructed Hollywood empire took a direct hit. A video meant to relaunch her brand ended up torching it in real time. Think of it as a masterclass in how not to manage your public persona. Cue the chaos, because when South Park smells desperation, you can bet they're going to serve it up with a double shot of savage. Just when Meghan thought her viral video disaster might quietly fade into the algorithm's black hole, along came South Park, aka the unholy duo of satire, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, to make absolutely sure the world never forgets. And let's be clear, they didn't just poke fun, they took a flamethrower to the entire charade. Trey and Matt resurrected their infamous "Respect Our Privacy" royals. Yes, those parody versions of Meghan and Harry that had everyone clutching their pearls the first time around, and dropped them into a brand new TV segment called Respect Our Pregnancy. The title alone is a gut punch dressed as a baby shower invite. Subtlety? Never heard of her. This wasn't just your average spoof. According to whispers from the South Park writer room, this segment is part of a much larger special episode, reportedly a DEI-themed takedown extravaganza. Diversity, equity, inclusion? More like delusion, entitlement, and irony in the world of South Park. And who better to headline the mockery of modern Hollywood's virtue signaling than Meghan Markle, patron saint of performative activism? In the new segment, the Meghan character reportedly appears in a montage of inspirational scenes, complete with fake crying, over-the-top monologues, and a baby bump that inflates and deflates like a balloon depending on how dramatic the moment needs to be. At one point, a cartoon doctor even questions if the pregnancy is NFT-based, triggering an emotional rant about womb autonomy in a gender-neutral society. Yes, it's that absurd and that on-brand for South Park. But it's not just about Meghan, it never is. The entire DI special is shaping up to be a roast of the Hollywood elite who use buzzwords like confetti and monetize every life experience under the guise of being authentic. Meghan's viral flop? It was the perfect glitter grenade to set it all off. Hollywood may be treading lightly around Meghan these days, but South Park? They brought out the brass knuckles, the bullhorn, and a full symphony of mockery. So while Meghan was busy trying to curate a comeback, South Park was already 3 steps ahead, plotting her downfall with cartoon precision. But wait, it gets more unhinged. Just when you thought South Park had maxed out the madness, they went full Marvel mode and launched what fans are now calling the Meghan Markle Cinematic Universe. Yes, it's that unserious and yet somehow more structured than her actual media ventures. The latest parody unfolds in, of all places, a hospital. But don't expect a tender Grey's Anatomy-style maternity scene. Instead, we get an animated Meghan look-alike twerking aggressively down the maternity ward hallway, her obviously fake baby bump jiggling like it's got a life of its own beneath the hospital gown. The sheer ridiculousness of it all is peak South Park, raunchy, unfiltered, and just offensive enough to make Twitter implode. Here's where it goes from funny to meta. Cartman Kennedy, the returning agent of chaos, a pitch-perfect parody of Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy if she were a rage-filled, buzzword-spewing showrunner on a mission to inject feminist rawness into every single frame, appears with a headset and clapperboard in hand. She's directing Meghan's unhinged twerking scene with theatrical outrage and unearned authority. "We need more rage in the womb, more trauma in the pelvis," she screams while simultaneously demanding 30 more takes to capture the essence of female pain through interpretive dance. This isn't satire. It's a fever dream with a Hollywood budget and no HR department. The scene is chaotic, but there's method to the madness. South Park isn't just dragging Meghan, they're torching the entire circus that keeps enabling the Meghan show. The mock production set is a razor-sharp takedown of Hollywood's obsession with fake empowerment, where authenticity is choreographed, feminism is commodified, and every teardrop comes with a brand deal. Meghan isn't just the star, she's the product, a factory-assembled, PR-approved spectacle manufactured by execs who care less about truth and more about clicks, contracts, and quarterly reports. The whole thing is so on the nose, it might as well be a documentary. If the internet was laughing, Meghan Markle certainly wasn't. According to insiders, red, stressed-out assistants whispering from under their desks, Meghan caught wind of the upcoming South Park parody before it even aired, thanks to a tip-off from her connections at Paramount. And let's just say the Duchess did not take the joke in stride. No deep breaths, no let's be the bigger person moment. This was full-blown royal meltdown mode. Allegedly, the moment Meghan saw a clip or even heard the phrase, "respect our pregnancy," her inner PR alarm went off like a fire drill at Buckingham Palace. Team Sussex sprang into Operation Cease and Desist. Lawyers were reportedly activated at lightning speed, sending out a flurry of emails, cease and desist threats, and perhaps even a few passive-aggressive legal memos that began with, "We are deeply disappointed." But here's where it gets hilarious. Trey Parker and Matt Stone don't do panic. These are the guys who made fun of Scientology and live to tell the tale. They've roasted presidents, popes, and Oprah's lady parts. Meghan Markle? She's just the next spicy headline on their satirical menu. What Meghan's legal team failed to grasp is that South Park isn't just making memes in a basement. They've got decades of legal armor under their belts, thanks to the glorious, unshakable shield of fair use. You can't sue someone just because they made fun of your interpretive pregnancy twerk. The more outraged Meghan gets, the more power she hands over to the parody machine. It's like trying to put out a grease fire by throwing wine on it. It just gets louder, messier, and way more expensive. This is the ultimate irony. Meghan's brand, built on controlling the narrative, is completely helpless in the face of satire. She can curate a lifestyle blog, an image, a podcast, even a pregnancy, but she can't curate South Park. And in the war between curated perfection and cartoon chaos, the cartoons always win. If Meghan Markle thought she had a friend left in Hollywood, this might be the moment she realizes Paramount has officially left the group chat. While Meghan's reportedly fuming behind closed doors and firing off legal letters like she's in the final act of Suits, Paramount isn't panicking. They're not apologizing, they're not even pretending to care. Instead, they're out here rolling out red carpets for the very South Park episode that's got Meghan seeing red. That's right, Paramount isn't just permitting the DEI special. They're promoting it like it's their golden ticket to streaming glory. According to insiders, the network sees this episode as more than a savage comedy hit. It's viral gold. Executives are already deep into marketing mode, sketching out teaser trailers, social media countdowns, and maybe even a cheeky billboard or two. And why wouldn't they? The previous Respect Our Privacy episode didn't just get views, it dominated. Timelines flooded, TikTok exploded with reaction clips, and YouTubers broke it down frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film. It didn't just trend, it owned the internet. To them, Meghan's very public outrage isn't a liability, it's the promo campaign. Every complaint, every source close to the Duchess, every dramatic headline that begins with Meghan furious, that's just more gas on the fire, baby. Free marketing. From a cold business perspective, Meghan's meltdown is simply good economics. Controversy sells, and nothing drives viewership like a royal tantrum dressed in designer litigation. It's the oldest trick in the media playbook. When the subject gets mad, the ratings get high. Here's where it gets extra awkward. Paramount was once one of Meghan's biggest would-be allies. There were meetings. There were whispers of development deals. But now all that seems to be gathering dust, as Paramount realizes that the real Meghan content people want is South Park making fun of her. In a brutal twist of Hollywood irony, the studio Meghan may have hoped to work with long-term is now cashing in on mocking her and making sure everyone tunes in to watch it unfold. When Trey Parker and Matt Stone they aim to slice through the nonsense like a hot knife through influencer branding butter. And this Meghan Markle takedown? It's not just a roast, it's a dissection, a full-blown cultural autopsy. Because behind the animated hospital chaos lies a much more cutting truth. They're not mocking Meghan Markle the person. They're dismantling Meghan Markle the phenomenon. To South Park, Meghan represents the ultimate 21st century paradox, a public figure who screams for privacy while scheduling her next camera angle, who wants to be relatable while bathed in designer lighting, and who demands applause for every carefully curated, spontaneous moment. That fake hospital video in the episode? It's not just exaggerated for laughs. It's a brilliant parody of how deeply artificial our new authenticity has become. The punchline isn't that Meghan is ridiculous. The punchline is that this is how public figures now perform sincerity. That every crying selfie, every raw pregnancy reveal, every tears on a podcast moment is less about vulnerability and more about virality. That's what Trey and Matt are really skewering, the uncomfortable question at the heart of this episode. And what makes it sting is how familiar it feels. Not just for Meghan, but for an entire generation raised on curated trauma and monetized vulnerability. It's satire, yes, but it's also a reflection, and sometimes the reflection is a little too accurate for comfort. Here's the part that should make Meghan break into a royal sweat. This time, it's personal and painfully photorealistic. According to leaks from the South Park animation team, this upcoming DEI special isn't just a spiritual sequel to Respect Our Privacy. It's a full-blown evolution in the show's visual savagery. Gone is the familiar bouncy head, googly-eyed Canadian caricature treatment. This time, the gloves are off. The animation style has reportedly taken a dramatic turn, more refined, more detailed, and eerily realistic. Meghan's character design has been described by one insider as too close for comfort, as in, screenshot it and make it a meme close. This isn't a cartoon anymore. It's a visual hit job with Pixar-level precision and zero mercy. What South Park is targeting is the ecosystem that created Meghan Markle in the first place, a culture obsessed with image over action, branding over honesty, hashtags over substance. She's merely the poster child for a generation of public figures who trade in curated vulnerability and monetized morality. Meghan isn't being mocked in isolation. She's being positioned as the face of a broken machine, a symbol of the influencer industrial complex where authenticity is algorithmic, activism is aesthetic, and corporate virtue signaling is the new currency. Whether Meghan fights back, files lawsuits, gives another tell-all, or retreats into the wellness woods of Montecito, the damage is done. South Park has already beaten her at her own game, controlling the narrative. Only this time, it's with fart jokes, feminist twerks, and the most uncomfortable mirror Hollywood has ever looked into. In trying to script her perfect moment, Meghan handed South Park the ultimate script. And with the DEI special on the way, the Duchess of Drama might just be their best episode yet.